how I'm firing. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. Strong. Ah, 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 ah.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And guys, it is fight week, and we are quickly approaching the May 2nd date for the Final Fury card set to take place in Times Square, New York. Of course, we have Ryan Garcia headlining the card. He's taking on Rolando Rolly Romero. And let me say this. I'm hearing that they're actually fighting for a title. They're fighting for the 147-pound regular WBA regular title. And I'm kind of questioning that as a boxing fan and wondering why these two guys are getting a crack at a title, because quite frankly, they don't deserve it. They've never fought at 147, first of all. Then you have Ryan, who's coming off of suspension for having performance-enhancing drugs in his system. Then you have Rolly, who, for some reason or another, always seems to get these opportunities in his lap when he doesn't really deserve them. I mean, coming off of when he came off of that Tank knockout, when he got knocked out by Tank, he goes up to 140 and he gets to fight for a title. And here we are again. He's fighting for another title. And it boggles my mind. And I understand why sometimes some of the hardcore boxing fans kind of, are fed up with the sport and they walk away because they're viewing it as a clown show. I think they should have to earn the right to fight for a title at 147, not just be handed to them. But anyway, I like the fight. I like the fight. I'm not going to harp on that, but I just, I don't think they deserve a title shot. But I'm on my soapbox, and I want to talk about something else altogether on this video here, and that is Devin the Dream Haney. And the reason I want to talk about Devin Haney is because I really hadn't talked about him much leading up to this fight. And I think this fight is an opportunity for Devin the Dream Haney, to make one of the biggest comebacks in boxing history. And it starts with Jose Ramirez. Now, let me say this. Out of those opponents, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, I would say Teofimo Lopez has the toughest opponent on that card. You guys know I think Ryan has the easiest opponent. Arnold Barboza, when I compare Arnold Barboza to Jose Ramirez, who he actually beat, you guys know that, I see Arnold Barboza as the more technical fighter. I think I see that fight as a 50-50 fight with him and Teofimo Lopez. And the reason I say that is because Teofimo Lopez, when Teofimo's on his A game, he's really, really hard to beat. But sometimes Teofimo Lopez's mindset gets in the way, and you can't trust him. So I view it as a 50-50 fight. Arnold Barboza is a very, very tough competitor in my opinion. So like I said, Teofimo Lopez definitely has his hands full. Now, when it comes to Jose Ramirez, hell of a fighter in my opinion. He's a pressure guy. You guys know that. He fights Mexican style. I think he has a great 1-2. I think he has a great left hook to the body, and he's got some dynamite in his gloves. So I'm quite sure that he's going to go in there and he's going to try to take off Devin the Dream Haney's head in that fight. So Devin has his work cut out for him too. Now, I will say, technical, I think Devin Haney is the better boxer. You guys know he has a great jab. He has a great offense. I think the thing that worries me about Devin is his defense. We saw, a lack of that in the fight with Ryan Garcia. And another thing in that fight that I saw, Devin Haney did not really fight his fight. He wanted to go for the knockout instead of sticking to what he does best, and that's boxing. And, look, all fighters can't be knockout artists. You have to work with what works for you. So I'm kind of glad that Devin Haney brought in some new things into his camp. He brought in Sugar Shane Mosley. He brought in Nate Jones. He's doing some different things. He's training in Big Bear. That just tells me that Devin knows he has some holes in his game that he needs to plug up. And I'm quite sure with a team like that, he's going to be absolutely sharp come fight night. So I'm leaning more towards Devin Haney to actually beat Jose Ramirez. I don't think it'll be a stoppage like some people think. I think the fight will go the distance, but I think he will outbox Jose Ramirez. He just has to stay disciplined in the fight. And it's not an easy fight. It's a tough fight in my opinion. Now, I want to talk about why I actually like Devin Haney, because I see a lot of hate thrown at Devin Haney about the Ryan stuff. Some people are saying that, you know, because he sued Ryan Garcia. Some people say they don't like Devin Haney because of his father talking all the time. But I beg to differ. I think people didn't like Devin Haney way before that. You know, they used to talk about Devin Haney when he got the WBC title at 135. They said he was an email champion. They said he was pillow-fisted. They said he wasn't street enough. It was just all these complaints about Devin Haney. So people has, you know, a lot of fans don't really like Devin Haney, and I don't really know the underlying reason why. But I'm going to tell you guys why I actually like Devin Haney. The thing I like about Devin Haney is Devin Haney has been one of those fighters who always tried to face the best competition. He was always calling out the best competition. Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. He tried to get all these fights early on. And it was only until George Kambosos Jr., shout out to George, because George was the only one who actually gave Devin Haney an opportunity. He fought George Kambosos Jr. in Australia and became the undisputed champion. So he went from being called an email champion to the top guy at 135. And he was the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era for a while. And that's a title now that's held by Gabriela Fundora. You guys know that. Then he left 135, defeated Regis Prograis, who was the WBC champion at 140, to become a 2-division champion. So he's done a lot in the sport, in my opinion, a lot to be respected. He's done way more than what Ryan Garcia has done. Ryan Garcia has never been a champion. Never been a champion. Think about that for a minute. He's never been a champion. And another thing, I know a lot of people give Devin hell about, you know, his fight with Ryan Garcia and how, you know, Ryan knocked him down multiple times. But here's the thing. The thing that impressed me with Devin Haney is that he never quit. He never acquiesced to defeat. He kept getting up time and time again. He fought to the end. And you can't say the same for Ryan when he fought Tank. When he got dropped and he went to that knee, he did not get back up. He could have got back up, but he quit in the fight. So that's the difference that I see there. And if Devin Haney gets past Jose Ramirez, then the stage is set for him to make the biggest comeback in boxing history when him and Ryan gets back in the ring and they're fighting on an even playing field. No Osterine, just him, just Ryan Garcia, plain old Ryan Garcia, and plain old Devin Haney fighting on an even playing field. You know, I think it's only right. You know, and may the best man win in that fight if they get past their fights this coming Friday, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. I'm rolling with Devin Haney in the fight. I think he wins the fight. I think he outboxes Jose Ramirez. Teofimo Lopez, to me, it's a toss-up. I'm not quite sure who wins that fight. I think Arnold Barboza is a very, very technical and tough competitor. I think Ryan Garcia stops Rolando Rolly Romero. I just don't think that Rolly has the best chin, and I don't think he has the best defense. I think he'll be there for the counter, probably for Ryan Garcia's left hook, in my opinion. But we'll see. But I am excited for the card. Like I said, I'm glad these young lions are mixing it up, and this is what we need in the sport of boxing, despite, you know, some of the gripes that I gave in the beginning of the video. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about these upcoming fights. Who do you have winning? Will there be knockouts? What do you think about Devin the Dream Haney's chances of winning against Jose Ramirez? Does Teofimo Lopez stop Arnold Barboza? Ryan Garcia stopping Rolando Rolly Romero? You guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.